The old silver bullet is back this week. It's become unbearable to drive. I'll tell you why in just a minute. Here is why the old silver bullet has become unbearable. I'm standing at the doorway of the shop, by the way, because it's very windy out. It'll mess the audio up. The exhaust, it's way too loud. It literally will give me a headache about 30 minutes after driving it. My ears will go to hurt. There's a certain spot in the RPM range. It's a really bad drone sound all through the cab, and it will make my eyes cross. I'm not kidding you. It'll make my eyes go blurry. It's so loud. There's rattling going on in the cab, metal to metal. We got to find that, but we're going to run exhaust on out the back. Hopefully that'll take care of that bad drone sound. Because seriously, I don't like driving it right now. It's so loud. There's some other things we got to take care of too, but that's the main goal. Let's get this thing where it don't hurt my ears and head to drive it. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to fire it up, warm it up. Then we're going to sit inside of it. I downloaded a decibel meter on my phone. We'll see how loud it is now. And then once we get the exhaust run on out the back, we'll check it again. Hopefully it's a lot quieter, but I don't know. It may still be just as loud. All right, I've warmed it up and it's going to sit there and idle. I wanted to see what it was at idle. Well, I've already tried it. I'm recording on an old cell phone because my new camera and that setup, it does not like this exhaust. It sounds terrible. And I got my current cell phone, my new one. I got a decibel meter on it, and I just tried it, and I don't think this is correct. No, sir. Me just sitting there talking, it's bouncing up to 96 and 98. Well, you can see the 96, maybe you can see it, is the current max. Well, I tried it, and this maxed out at like 110. I don't believe that. No, sir. I don't think this is accurate. Well, we'll try it anyway. Let's just see what it does. Sitting here idling, it's at about 88. Revving it up. It's showing 104. I don't believe that because it says my voice hit 102. Yeah, this is not very accurate. Let's open the door, see if it's any louder. Let me reset this. Outside it hit a 111.7. Pretty doggone loud. Let me shut it off because I'm telling you, it hurts my ears. Let me pull it in the shop. Then I got to run around town and do some stuff. And when I get back, we'll start working on the exhaust. Well, I got the old hunk of junk in the air, been looking it over, and well, we got some issues, sure enough. First one I noticed, right here. See that line right there? See how it's wet looking? Well, it is wet because it's leaking. That's fuel line, yep. We're gonna have to replace fuel line. Remember me telling y'all before? The brake lines, fuel lines, they rust where there's a clamp. Well, look at there, there's a clamp. So we're gonna have to replace fuel line, and that dang rear main seal is leaking pretty good. See those two dots? That's engine Earl. There's streaks running down here from where it's been slung off the flex plate. And I thought there for a minute we had a transmission leak because around that pan it's real wet, but it's dark. See how dark it is? That's engine oil. If your transmission fluid is that color, you're in bad shape. I don't know what we're gonna do about that. We're not gonna fix that today, but I might do a little research. Maybe I did something wrong. I mean, that's a brand new crank, brand new seal. It shouldn't be leaking. Nope. It's even leaking all the way back here on this cross member. See that drop of Earl right there? Yeah. That ain't worth a crap. Sure ain't. I just noticed we got something dripping on the floor right there. I looked up in here and we got a upper rad hose. Got some water leaking off it. We'll have to fix that. What else? I think that's it for now. Let me get back here and show you what I'm gonna do about my exhaust right here. This is the best thing I have come up with. Here's just a 90. Put her in there, about like that. And then we're gonna have to cut her off real low. Take another 90. Oh, that is not a 90, that's a 180. Take another 90. You're gonna have to cut it off real short and join them there. It's gonna come straight over rear end. We're gonna go over this cross member here, then keep coming on straight, and I could end it right here, and I may do it, I don't know, maybe put a turn down, or we could come on down and out the back. But I don't have enough bends here to come down like this. You'd need probably 245s. I don't have any. I do have some 180s though. We might could cut them. I don't know, we'll just have to see. If I can just get it close to the back, hopefully it'll quieten it down. And if it does, well, I'm okay with that. I hate to do this because I had future plans of doing a triangulated 4-link like we did on Dude in the 40, but with exhaust right here, there's no way I can put that bar here. Well, I don't know. Maybe. That gas tank is going to be an issue over here. We may end up moving the gas tank, and then if we move the gas tank, put it back there or put a fuel cell in the bed, well, then we may have to move the driver's side exhaust back over here. That's on down the road. Let me show y'all what I got in the mail a day or two ago. See that right there? That is a starter for the old Packard. Yep. I've hooked a battery up to it and it spins, but the Bendix is hanging out. I don't think it should be. So we may have to tear it apart and see what's going on with that, but it ain't burned up at least, so that's good. Speaking of the old Packard, that video dropped not quite 2 days ago. Let me tell you, y'all are coming through with the comments, yeah. It's ain't been 2 days yet. I got, I think, almost 2,100 comments, like 6,400 likes, somewhere in there. Likes are lagging a little bit, but they're up, so, I mean, that's okay. I have read each and every one of them. Let me tell you, it took a while. It took probably 3 hours, yeah. I can't do that every week, but I wanted to this week just to see, what people were saying. Here's what's even more awesome than all that. Like I said, it's been not quite 2 days since the video dropped, and the views are at, I believe, almost 31,000. Yeah, I ain't seen 31,000 views in a week's time, in a long time, much less in less than 2 days. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Appreciate it. 99.99999% of y'all is words of encouragement. Tell me you like what I do, you like me dragging this junk out of the woods, or just taking a big old pile of nothing and actually putting it back on the road. I appreciate that. Of course, you got that 0.00001% of experts, know-it-alls, and smarties. And I didn't have a whole lot of them, but there was a few that said, you need to quit working on this junk. That's the problem. One of them told me I need to work on nicer vehicles. If you want to buy me nicer vehicles, ship them to me or give me the money and I'll go buy them. I have no problem working on a nicer vehicle. But unless that happens, we're going to keep working on junk like that because that's all I can afford. Junk is what I've done from the very beginning of this channel. If you go look and see, that's what I do. Work on junk. I take something like this, make it a little bit less junky, put it back on the road or start using it again or whatever. That's just what I do. Can't please everybody. I'm not going to try to please everybody. I just want to please the majority of y'all. That's why I read all the comments to see what you're saying. It was overwhelmingly, keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate that. Let me say this. It's kind of ironic because I got that Ford back in here, but fixing to change the format up a little bit. That truck took 3 months. The 40 took, I think, 8 months. I think a lot of you do like the longer builds, but a lot of you don't. So here's what I'm going to try anyway. It may not work. I'm going to try it. We'll bring something in here, work on it 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll pull it out. We'll bring something else in, work on it for 2 or 3 weeks. I might start a third project, but that's gonna be it, because my little pea brain, it ain't gonna let me have a whole bunch of projects open. No, sir. Well, I'll tell you what'll happen. I'll order a part thinking I need it for this, but I actually need it for this one over here. It'll get here and I realize, why did I order that? I need for this. And there I'll be with the wrong part. I'm waiting on that part. No, my brain ain't gonna let me do that. So 3 projects max. We'll just swap them out until we get them all done. If that doesn't work out, if y'all don't like that, well, we may have to try something different. A lot of you talked about will it runs. Fellas, I'm not doing will it runs all the time. I done discussed that. I can't afford to buy a car every week. I don't have anywhere to put a different car every week. That's just, I'm not gonna do that. I come in after the will it run guys. You know, they'll barely get them running. Might drive them home. They'll park them in the field and that's where they sit. Well, what I do, I actually get them running. I actually put them on the road again. Is this the 4th one in like 2 years? That I've actually licensed and insured, and it's on the road and I drive it whenever I want to. Well, that's why that's in here, because I can't drive it whenever I want to because it's too loud, so we got to fix it. I'm not just gonna, park it out there and leave it. No, sir, that ain't what I do. Anyway, I can ramble on for another 10 or 15 minutes. I won't. I will spread it out throughout the video about some things that I read I'd like to go over. Right now, though, let's see if we can get this old hunk of junk a little bit quieter so I don't rattle my brains out. All right, I'm trying to figure out where I want to cut this pipe. You don't want to cut it down here in the bend. This thing will work out. You don't want to leave, I don't know, 1/2 inch to 1 inch to let the other pipe slip down on it. So, I'm on the marker approximately right there. Then this other one, I probably ought to do that, leave that bail in that way the straight pipe will just slip right on it. So I'm gonna cut it off and then bring it down a little bit off that bed. Oh, we can cut it off about right there because we're gonna have a coupling to couple them together. All right, let's go cut them off. Y'all remember last time we tried to use this saw, she didn't want to start. The reason it's doing that, well, it's partly due to it's too much draw on that breaker, but it don't do it in the summer, it just does it in the winter when it's real cold. I always thought the colder it got, the more ampacity something had, but apparently not on this situation. Anyways, let's see what it does. Oh yeah, it's gonna trip it. So I'm gonna have to do what I did last time. Let me put my ears on first. Oh, I need some glasses too. Duh. I'll tell you right now, that stainless is extremely hard on these blades. Yeah, it'll eat up pretty quick. Let me get this other one cut off real quick. Now, will this fit this coupling? Oh yeah. This is one of the reasons I went to town a little while ago to buy these couplings. Let's go see what that looks like. I got to get me some new lights. My magnet broke off of this one here. Yeah. Pile of garbagery. What does she look like? Looks just fine and dandy to me. Absolutely. Let me get these tacked in real quick. Then we'll run us a straight piece on down here. Well, as a matter of fact, let's just get it now and see what it looks like. Let us see if I can get this up in here. I might have to cut this off. Yeah, I might have to cut that one off. But I think it'll be all right. Let me get these tacked in place real quick. I decided let's go ahead and cut the other side and get it in place too. Just to make sure I don't lean that one over too far and don't have enough room for the second one. Here's the second one. All right, let me get them cut. I will be right back. I got them both in. I got plenty of room. I'm only going to tack the outside one, and well, I'll explain here in a minute what my thought process is. What does that look like? Look pretty good. That don't look too bad right there. I'm trying to keep this one off of this, but this one here, the driver's side, well, it don't need to go straight back. It needs to come over here and go over here. Even if I don't run them past, or even with the bumper, right now I might eventually. So yeah, we got to get us some pipe. Come on over here. Let me get us a piece of straight pipe. Let's go ahead and get this side done, and then we'll worry about this side over here. Slight change of plans. It's called engineering on the fly. There's no need in going over this cross member. It really ain't. So why don't we take this 180, cut her in half. Let me get on a table and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Take this 180, cut it in half, twist this end, weld it back together, and that'll be our drop, hopefully, to get under that cross member, and we can just shoot straight on out the back. Let's cut one. Let's just see what happens. All right, what do we got? We got something that's gonna be awesome. As soon as I get this ground where they're meeting flat, I don't know, that probably would work. Let me grind on this a little bit, see if I can't straighten that up. I don't know about y'all, but I think that looks pretty doggone good. Yep. Let me weld this up, and then we'll put it on the truck, and hopefully, well, I'll tell you what, before I weld it up, we might need to stick it up there because it might actually not be dropped enough, might be too much. Yeah, let's put it up there and trial fit it first. All right, this one will go approximately there. This one will go approximately there. It looks like it's gonna be a little too low, but remember me telling you those bell ends were really loose? See how much it'll move? So what if, pick it up like that. Let me tack these two pieces together. I think it might work out pretty good. I can't get my welder set right. All right, let's go try that. Let us see what this is gonna look like. Got a piece of straight pipe here. Oh yeah, see how much wiggle room I got because that bell is so not tight. Yep, that will work just fine and deadly. Let me get a measurement on that piece of straight pipe and we'll cut it off. Where did our marker go? I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to my shoulders. Let's see. I'll run it straight there. I don't want to come all the way out. We'll come to all right there. We can always cut it off a little more if we want to. Let me go gut this piece off, and then I'm gonna tack everything together, and I'm hoping I could get it over that rear end. That way I can weld it all except for that one joint. Oh yeah. All right, I cut us a piece to length. It already had a slight angle, which end, this in here. I don't know if I'll want that on the outside or not. Let's just see. It'll add just a little bit of an accent, if you will. But yeah, I think that's going to be pretty doggone awesome. I think I want it straight. Let's swap ends. We'll leave her straight. All right, let me get all this tacked up, and then I'm gonna hopefully pull it out. We'll put it on the table over and weld it up. Let's see now. That ain't bad. It comes up a little bit. Yeah, I can get not quite a finger in between them. Always straight. Yeah, I think that'll be all right there. Takalaka, takalaka. All right, let me look that over real quick, like, see what I think. I can live with it. Let me see if I can pull it out of there now. Feel it break free. Come on, man. There we go. Can I get it out of here? Yeah, but I'm telling you, I don't think I'll be able to get that second side out. Anyway, let's go weld this up. Let's see if we can get her back up in here. Just like that right there. Oh yeah. Approximately right there. Let's get our jack stand back in place. Approximately right there. It might need to go up just a wee bit. Yeah. Let me give me a little shim. All right, what about that? I think. Hey! Well, I think it's going to fall on me. Yep. Well, let's try this again. Put this right in here. Needs to go back yonder way some. Approximately right there. Yeah. Let me weld this up right here real quick like. I'm just going to tack it right now because we might have to maneuver it out of the way to get this side in. So look, we'll just tack her up real quick. I think I need to go ahead and put a hanger here, so let me see what I got in the cabinet and we'll figure something out there. Just got back from Ireland. I had hangers, but I didn't have the clamps to go with them, so I had to get them. I got a couple of 45s also for this other side. I hope we don't have to use them, but if we do, we do. Anyway, let me see if I can get this little fella here situated where I want it. And then we're gonna get this hanger in place, just like that right there. I got the lift a little too high. All right, I'm gonna tighten that clamp up once I get this hanger where I want it. Approximately right there. Well, my battery's dead. My battery's dead on my drill. I had to get my ratchet out because I don't think I told you, I lost my drill the other day. It's on the road somewhere. Somebody probably picked it up. And that's the only DeWalt battery I got now. I got to get another drill and battery sometime. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let me make sure it's straight. Well, that hanger right there, buddy. Oh, yeah. Woo, I'm on fire. Yeah, it's coming back burning. Yep. I done caught my shirt on fire. What in the devil? All right, let's take this here out of the way. What does it feel like? Oh yeah, that's good and sturdy right there. Yeah, I think that'll be just fine and dandy. Let me start on this side here and get it run over here. Let's take a little break from working on the old Ford here. I got something to show y'all, and it's sitting right here. Art Captain contacted me a few weeks ago and said they wanted to sponsor us a TIG welder. Look here, we got one. Yes, sir, we sure do. It is TIG200P AC DC, 200 amp. It does AC and DC. Well, it actually does AC pulse, AC, DC pulse, DC. It is a stick welder. It has a spot weld setting in there too. It comes with basically everything you need to weld, minus a tank of gas and some welding rod. It comes with one tungsten that's, I believe, 1/16 of an inch. I have been fooling with it over the last couple of days. It's been, let me tell you, it's been probably 20 years since I've had a TIG welder in my hand. So I've been practicing, trying to remember how to TIG weld. We'll get into that here in a little bit, and I'll show you how good it welds. But let me turn it on. The power switch is right around back here. Just flip her on and take a look at that screen. That screen's pretty nice. Well, here's my hand, and there's the screen. That's a pretty good size screen. I can't see. I'm half blind, and I have no trouble seeing this. Let's walk through some of the settings real quickly. This one up here toggles it from AC, DC, and then MMA is stick welded. And then you got 2T, 4T, and spot. 2T and 4T is on your trigger. 2T means you pull it and you have to hold it and then let off and it'll quit welding. Well, 4T, you can pull the trigger, let off, it'll continue to weld. You pull the trigger again and it'll stop welding. That's usually if you got like a really long weld. Holding the trigger, it can fatigue your fingers after a while. And then spot welding, I'm not completely familiar with that, but I think you can program it to actually do a spot weld, and it'll quit welding. You come over here and it'll weld some more, and you quit, and you come over here, and basically it's just a pre-programmed spot weld, I think. Then you got pulse down here, yes and no. That is, it'll give it a shot of current, and it'll come back and give it a shot of current and pull back. It's if you're welding something thin and you don't want to just saturate it with a bunch of heat, bunch of amperage. That's what that's good for. And then down here, this here is the sine wave. That's triangle wave, and there's square wave. That's got to do with the pulsing and all that. Then you come over here to this big knob, and that controls your amperage. Of course, it goes all the way to 200 because it's a 200 amp machine. You push this button, and you got settings here. This is ramp up and ramp down, and well, it's a pretty fancy machine. I'm used to the old just turn one knob and that's that's it. This here's got all kind of stuff. This is your max. Well, let's start over here on the left actually. You got this one right here. This is pre-flow for your gas. As soon as you hit the trigger, it's going to flow some gas. Then you come on up to the next one, and that is time for the ramp up to this top voltage. Then this is your actual high, the max voltage you're going to use. You come over, you got a ramp down. Then you got the time for the ramp down. Well, let me get back over here. It's going crazy. That's your time for the ramp down, and that's your post flow for your gas to flow after you let off the trigger. Then I believe, let me think a second. When you go to pulse, you can actually set your pulse here, and that's what you want it to, the current you want it to drop to. And then I believe that's, well, it's hertz right here. That tells it how long to drop. And then I'm not real sure what that one is. I'd like to tell you this, I haven't TIG welded in 20 years. This is some high-tech stuff right here compared to what I'm used to using. Also, when you're on AC TIG, that's aluminum. Let me turn that pulse off. AC is used for aluminum. You've got another setting in here for hertz. That should be probably about 100 or so. We'll try it. And then you got another AC balance. That has to do with, I think, like cleaning, action, and different things. We'll set it on, if I can find it again, we'll set it on about 30%, see what it does there. But yes, sir, as you can tell, it's got plenty of settings to customize exactly what you're doing. Here is all the stuff, because like I said, everything you see here minus the cart and the tank of gas. Plus here on the table, you get a stick weld lead. It will also work off of 110 volts. Of course, you know your amperage will be less, but you can run it off 110 volts. Here's a little hammer and brush for knocking the flux off. Comes with this little package of cups and the collets for your tungsten, and come with these stickers that we're going to put on our cabinet over there after a while. Yep. The instruction manual, I think it's laying over there on the table, but it comes with an instruction manual. Tell you how to set it up and all that. It even comes with this flow meter right here. Sure does. I was thinking, you know, I was going to have to buy a flow meter. Well, I opened up the box and there it was, and I said, well, that's awesome. Here's another feature that I didn't really notice until after I got done welding, but the fan, you know, most welders, you turn them on, he's got a fan that's blaring all the time. This fan does not run until it needs it, and you know, I fooled with this welding over here an hour or two the other day, and it rarely come on. So it runs pretty quiet and must be pretty efficient if it doesn't need that fan very often. Anyways, let's get over here and do a little welding. Like I said, I've been fooling with it for the last couple of days, doing some aluminum welding. Here's some steel welding. Don't look at these welds. Like I said, I'm still trying to learn how to TIG weld again, sure enough. Let me get the camera set up and we'll do a little bit of welding. All right, let's see how this little feller's gonna do. I got some, I believe it's 3/16 metal angle iron. That may be 1/4 inch, I believe it is. I've been welding on some of this thinner stuff because that's what, you know, you're gonna use TIG for a lot of times, that and aluminum. And well, I had gotten better. I mean, that's not the best TIG welding ever, but it ain't bad for somebody that's basically relearning how to TIG weld. Anyways, let's see what it'll do on this piece of metal right here. Let me get her clamped with the ground clamp. Let's see what she'll do. I got it set on 175 amps for this, I believe it's 1/4 inch. And it seems to be doing just fine and dandy. Again, do not judge this machine by my welding because I'm still in the relearning phase. Let's make a couple more beads. Not bad. Let's see if we can weld a couple pieces together real quick like. Let's look at it real quick. I'll show you them in a minute. Let's switch it over, do some aluminum real quick. It's a really hard process to get it swapped over to AC so you can weld aluminum. It's this right here. That's pretty much it. Figure out what amperage you need. The rule of thumb is 1 amp here for 1/1000th of thickness of your metal. We're gonna weld 1/8 inch, so we'll put on 125, see what it does. Main thing with aluminum is clean. I just got done hitting that with a flap disc. Let's see what we can do right here with it. I cannot lay dimes or whatever they call it. No, sir. But it'll hold. Let's lay a couple more beads. Here's what I just did right here, these four. Like I said, I cannot stack dimes, but that right there, it'll hold whatever you're welding all day long, sure will. That's 1/8 inch aluminum, by the way. Then here you got 1/4 inch plate to 3/16 angle iron. And other than those couple of holes that I left, that's not a bad looking weld. It definitely penetrated, for sure, yep. Here's some stuff I was fooling with the other night. This is, I believe, 60 thousandths. And if you don't look at the holes, I mean, it's a decent weld. It ain't beautiful, but it'll hold. Absolutely, it'll hold. Here's this 1/2 inch piece. Let me tell you about this. I just wanted to see what it would do. This is 1/2 inch plate, aluminum. It's the transmission adapter plate for that truck. Remember, I had to cut some of it off. It's 1/2 inch thick. This machine, it's good for 3/16 aluminum usually. Well, y'all know me. I wanted to see what it would do on this 1/2 inch. Well, this garbage right here, that's what I did, not preheating. Well, then I took my little propane torch there and heated this thing up, maybe, I don't know, 3 minutes. And it welded that 1/2 inch. It sure did. Look at that right there. That's not bad looking. I run some beads here. Like I said, I ain't a welder, but it did penetrate. It did weld 1/2 inch. I'll tell you what I've done before on a project many years ago. Aluminum, I need to preheat it because it was, I believe, 3/8, and the welder, you know, wasn't big enough. We put it in the barbecue grill and heated it for probably 30 minutes, pulled it out and welded it up. Yep. So this little machine here, pretty powerful. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. You can buy this for less than $650 with a 5-year worry-free warranty. That's not bad for a 5-year warranty. Oh, yeah, I'll take that all day long. Once again, I would like to thank Art Captain for sending us this TIG welder. There'll be a coupon code in the description along with a link to their website to this machine here. I believe the coupon code is BESTWELD. I'll have that in the description. If you need any kind of welding equipment, go check them out. Appreciate it, Art Captain. Got the driver's side pretty much like I want it. You know, here's our little 180 that I cut in half and then turned it. What did I turn it? 180? Yeah, sure did. They made us a little 90S. And then there's I bought these at Ireland. 245s, one there and one there. I don't like these wrinkle bends, but that's all it had, so I have to use it. I found just a random piece of pipe. Now, I did not even cut it. And guess what? It is exactly the length that we need. Yep. It's going to work out perfect. I need a little short piece here, and that'll be it. Oh, yeah. Let me cut this, get everything tacked, welded, get it back in here and hang it, and we'll be done with this. I got to build some muffler stands if we're going to do exhaust very often, because this is aggravating having this fall apart on you. All right, I got to get back here and look and see if we are in the same spot. No, sir, this has got to come over and up. About right there. What about that? I'm good with it if y'all are. This, well, it's aimed down. It ain't quite right. About like that. Let me hit a tack somewhere up here. I think right here, maybe. I don't know. I think that's going to work. So let me tack it up a little better, and I'm going to pull it out and weld it up. All right, let's see if she'll come out. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, look at there. Let me go weld it up. I'll be back. Got her welded up. Let's see if we can get her slid in there. How did I get that out last time? I think I went something like that right there. Oh yeah, look at there. Now, let me get my stand right here. We'll get this about where I want it. About right there. Let me look at it and see. Yeah, that ain't bad. Actually, that looks a little better there, so let me raise this up. Where's my piece of aluminum I had? Well, I don't know where it went. Interesting. Here it is. I found it. I found it. I want to go up. That's still a little warm. Oh, yeah. About right there. I need to put a little something here. Let me find something. Stick in there, give us a little clearance, and I'm going to weld that other end up. All right, maybe that screwdriver will be all right. That ain't bad. It needs to go that way just a wee bit. That's probably it right there. Oh yeah. All right, let me weld that other end up, and then we'll put a hanger on it. Well, the trigger on my welder's quit, so I got to work on that. I'll be back momentarily. If it ain't one thing, it's something else all the dead blame time. Wire came loose on my welding lead down here at the welder. I just twisted them back together. Let's get this little feller welded up. Well, I had a minor mishap there welding that one weld up. I couldn't see the top, so I had to take the drive shaft off. Then I proceeded to blow a giant hole in it. So that took a minute to get filled up. I've got my, what's that called? I got my hanger in place. Let's go ahead and weld that up, and then we'll be done with this. We now have dual exhausts completely out the back of the old Silver Bullet. Oh yeah, it don't look bad. Well, I mean, you know, backyard butchery quality stuff. It looks pretty good. There's both my hangers right there. Once again, do not look at my welds. I don't know what's going on with my welds. You can see it going over the thing there. When I was over on the table welding a minute ago, it was just welding like crap. It'll just spit and sputter and then get too hot. And I grabbed a piece of cold rolled steel and laid the prettiest speed you ever saw. Come back welding this, and it started welding like crap. I thought it was my wire. I bought a new roll of wire, I don't know, one day last week. It's a big roll, 25 pound, got it off Amazon. I thought, well, maybe there's something wrong with that, but I sort of think it's this pipe now. I don't know that I'm gonna buy any more of it. The stuff we put on the 40, it welded good, so I may get another bundle of it, because we got another project coming that's gonna need exhaust. Anyways, looks good enough for what we do around here. Let's let it down, see what it sounds like. Let's do a cold start, see what it sounds like. I'm recording with my phone because I don't know if that new camera, I don't know how loud it's gonna be. So it may be too loud for that new camera still. Anyway, let's see what it sounds like. I already tell you it's gonna be really quiet. Mucho betero as far as quiet. I don't like the sound of it, but it's gonna have to do. Let me warm it up, then I'll set y'all behind it. Let's see what it sounds like. I that belt squalling. That's something else we got to fix too. Got a pretty good load. I don't know what it sounds like behind it though, because, well, kind of hard for me to stand behind it and rev it up, but I do believe it's going to be mucho vetero on my old eyeballs. I don't believe they're going to cross. I don't think it's going to rattle my brain anymore, so, yep, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm going to like that sound, but the alternative, well, it's just, no, sir, we can't have that. It literally rattled my brain. That ain't no good. I tell you what, I'm glad I finally, realized that you cut that in half and turn it 180 and make you an S with 290s. That was, yeah, that'll be handy in the future, sure will. I had intentions of pulling the fuel line out tonight and getting it fixed, but I've been out here, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. My knees are shot. I can't hardly walk. So we'll do that tomorrow, and there's a few other things that I want to do. I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow too. Going to try to get some different medicine for my knees. Maybe we can start walking or working more than just 4 or 5 hours a day. That ain't no count. And I'm gonna get an appointment with an orthopedic doctor, and maybe get an MRI on them, see what's going on. But for now though, I'm going in the house, rest my knees. See y'all tomorrow. Today's the next day, and I think I'm gonna try to finish up everything today. I got, I don't know, 3 hours or so before I got to go to the doctor. I'm going to start with the fuel line and then do the alternator and all that stuff. And this tire over here, it's low too. I got to put a new valve stem in it. But before we get started, let me cover some more stuff that I read in the comments. A lot of y'all mentioned that I need to promote my merch, by wearing my shirts and telling y'all about it. Here's why I don't, and I've said this before. My merch has never done very well, even when I do promote it. It's not a big thing to me. I know I'm not going to make a bunch of money on it, but it's there if y'all want it. I got a couple more designs coming. Actually, I think I've already got them. I just haven't uploaded them, and showed y'all. Those 2 were done by, or maybe 3. I don't remember. Anyways, those were done by some of my subscribers. I'll tell you about that as I bring them out. And then one of them, he's going to do us a channel logo. I've had a channel for over 3 years and I don't have a logo. So hopefully he's going to make us one. But yeah, I don't promote it because it doesn't sell very well. There's only so many t-shirts and hats and stuff that y'all are going to buy. And then, it sort of levels off. But yes, I do have merch. Check in the description below and you'll find a link to it. Also, well, let me tell you this firstly. I posted this on the Facebook page 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. Miss Daisy was involved in an accident. They're not real sure. They thought she got run over by a car, but they're not real sure. She almost got her ear completely cut off, got a big old scrape on her head. She's doing fine. They brought her over to Mama's last week, I think it was. Let her see her. She's okay. But we may never see her again because they may, pin her up with a invisible fence or something like that. So we may never see her again, but that's fine if it keeps her from getting run over. Yep. Anyways, I had posted that on my Facebook page, and y'all need to go like my Facebook page. I post pretty regularly over there, and you can stay up to date on what's going on. Anyways, just thought I'd mention that. Something else that several of you have mentioned was, why don't you do a collaboration with other YouTubers? And that might help promote the channel. Their subscribers will, maybe come over and subscribe and start watching the videos. No, thank you. I will tell you why. Last year, I contacted probably 10 other YouTubers, just trying to make acquaintances, make friends in the business, if you will. And all but 2 completely ignored me. So yeah, no thanks. I will stay to myself over here in my little corner and do my thing, and everything will be and okay. Also, yesterday I told you that views were up to almost 31,000 in less than 2 days. The reason I brought that up is I don't know why they're up. Is it because we did a Will It Run on the Packard? Is it because it's a Packard? Or is it because y'all shocked the system? Ain't got a clue. Could be all 3, could be 1. We don't know, but we do need to let's continue to shock the system. Y'all flood it with comments and likes and all that. Maybe things will pick up. Sure hope so. Anyways, I've rambled on long enough. Let's go over and work on this old truck. I got to get the rubber line loose from the hose up here, and then we'll go down below and pull that fuel line out and make us a new one. Oh yeah, that don't want to come off. Ah, yeah, there we go. All right, let me raise it up and we'll pull that fuel line out. I got to get this hose loose here. Where is it at? Right there. I purposely left that clamp where I could get to it with this nut driver easily, just for this reason, just in case we had to take it loose. I always do something like that, fellas. Aim your hose clamps where it's easy to get to, or anything like that. Make it easier on you when you gotta work on it again. Now I gotta try to get it off of the line here. I'm probably gonna get soaked with gasolines when this breaks free. Well, it ain't wanting to come loose. Let me give me something to push with. There we go. Here comes the gasolines. No, it wasn't but a couple of drops. All right, I got 2 clamper lamps. Oh yeah, I broke that line loose real good. She's dripping like crazy. Then we can pull this old line out. Yeah, we're dripping fuels everywhere. Well, that clamper lamp broke. All right, now let me see if I can't finagle this little feller out of here some kind of way. What's got us? Come on, man. Oh, it's hung on this wire. Okay, I got you, buddy. There it is. Let's make a copy of that. All right, I got some aluminum here that we're going to use as 5/16. All I'm going to do is copy this line here, best I can anyways. Same thing I do when I do brake lines. Then pretty much straight until we get to that end down yonder. We'll tie it together with wire ties. It should make it a little bit easier to handle. All right, I think that's pretty close. Let me cut this off and then we'll stick it back in the truck. Tell you what I'm going to do. It probably won't never happen, but just in case that hose ever tries to slip off, let's put a little bit of a flare on either end to capture the hose. Let's do that. I'm not going to do a full flare, just part of one. If you do a full flare, it may be kind of aggravating to get the hose over it. Matter of fact, I think what we'll do the first operation of a double flare. Let's see what that does. Yeah, I think that'll work. That's sort of like a bubble flare. Yeah, that'll work. Let me do the other end, then we'll put it in the truck. If you're going to use aluminum fuel line, be very, very careful, because it's very, very easy to put a kink in it. Let's see, how did I do this? I think we got to do that and twist it and come back with it. All right, let me put these clamper lamps back on it. Where were they at? Right here. Got the hose hooked up on that end. I am putting a new clamper lamp right here. That other one broke. I'm gonna get this done. We'll be done under here. We'll go up top and hook it up and move on to the next thing. Something just fell. I don't know what it was. Get on there, little buddy. My clamp fell apart. The bolt fell out of it. That's what I heard hit the floor. So let me pull this off and cheer, get another clamp. All right, got that done. On to the next problem. What's next? We got to change the alternator. And once again, if you would join my Facebook page, you would know why we got to change that. I posted on there last week that I had a terrible drain on the battery. Run it down overnight. And after some troubleshooting, figured out that the regulator, something in the charging system is dragging it down. I don't know if I got it wired up wrong or maybe the regulator's bad. What I have decided to do is just go with a one-wire alternator, do away with that regulator. All you got to do is run a hot wire from your battery to your alternator, and that's it. If you want to have a gauge, but other than that, that's it. So let's pull this alternator out, put the other in, get it wired up. That squalling that you heard last night is due to this belt being too long. The adjustment on the alternator is all the way out, so she was squalling. Bye-bye, Mr. Belt that's too long. I got a bunch of shims right here, aka whooshers. I imagine I'm gonna drop probably most of them right now. Gotta get this bolt out. Come on, man. Yep, there went several. Now let's get this up here and get it unwired. And all I need is, there's already one wire here that's coming straight from the battery. I think it's this one. I'll make doubly sure. No, it's probably that one. Anyways, I'll figure that out in a little bit. Let me get this unwired real quick. All right, let me get the other one. Probably gonna have to have a few more shimmy lemons because this right here it's a little shorter. I wish that hose wasn't in my way. Doggone you. Well, that's good. Dropped a brand new alternator. Yep. Slamming on the ground even. Well, we got another issue. Bolt won't fit. Let me get the drill this out. I wonder if this in here is the same thread or if it's a different size. It looks smaller. It looks like it might be fine thread. Let me make sure I got a bolt before we put that on. Well, this is not looking good, fellers. Not looking good. I don't know what size that is. Tell you what we'll do. We'll tap it out for this right here. Yep. Well, I forgot to turn my camera on, but I got that hole drilled out to, what was it, 70/16? Yeah. Now we're going to re-drill this one for 3/8 threads. The reason I'm using this drill, I lost my cordless DeWalt the other day. I think I left it on the back of my truck, the bumper, and it fell off in the road, and I guess somebody picked it up and took it home. We might go somewhere and buy us a drill after I get out of the doctor. All right, let me clean this up and we'll get it on the truck. I'm trying to see which one of these here wires is hot all the time. I think it's this one. And I would be incorrect. Maybe it's this one right here. Yes, no. Well, I know one of them is, by George. That one right there. All right, let me crimp me an end on it. And then we'll hook that up, and then that's... Oh, wait a minute, I don't have to. That might just clip right on there. Let's see. Yeah, that clipped right on. All right, let me pull this out of this harness, because I'm going to tie all this other stuff up, because we do not need it. Get the bolt in it, man. Get the bolt in it. Well, let me get this other bottom bolt in, then we'll start worrying about shims. Now for the shimalimas. I now see why this alternator had alignment shims on it when I started fooling with it. Because you can't fill it up with whooshers. It's impossible. So yeah, we're gonna go back with some alignment shims too if I get all these scooted. Let me get a belt. All right, let's see if this belt is gonna work, or did I get one too short? Guess what? It's too short. It really is. What in the world? This is aggravating. Let me see if that old belt, it may work differently with this alternator. No, it's still too loose. That ain't aggravating. Let me see what I got on the wall, but I think I've done been through all of them. Well, I found this one here, A38. I sort of think it might be a lawnmower belt, but it'll do till I can get the right size belt. Yeah, it fits. All right, let me tighten this up real quick like. We'll fire it up. Make sure it's making voltage. Well, what's happened? It won't move now. Well, we'll be. There. All right, let me tighten this up real quick like. All right. Let's see if we're getting these sparky sparks now. No, I was before, ain't no more. Let me tighten this up. Tape these wires up, and we'll check it for, make sure it's making voltage. All right, are we making any voltaires or not? No, sir, we are not charging at all, so that's good. What in the world? I don't know what's going on. Well, the wire that I thought had 12 volts, this one right here, it don't have 12 volts anymore for whatever reason. Oh, could be due to this not being plugged in. I don't know, but it does not have 12 volts on it anymore. This one here does. Let me check one more time. Yes, sir. So let me get this wire hooked up, and then maybe we'll be making voltage. Are we making voltages now? Let us see. Oh yeah, 14, 3, 14, 33, 34. Y'all see that? Oh yeah, we're all good. One last thing, then I gotta go get ready to go to the doctor. This thing shifts too early, too soon. So we're gonna adjust on the vacuum modulator real quick like. All you do is take your little bitty straight screwdriver, and there's a screw in there. You turn it clockwise to make it shift later. So I'm gonna do, there's a half a turn. Let's do that right there. Put the line back on. And also notice there's some fluid on that pan. I don't know if it's motor oil or transmission. Let me tighten these pan bolts up real quick. And then I'm gonna run in the house, get ready to go doctor. We'll take a trip to town. Let's hit the road, Jack. I gotta go to the doctor. I gotta go somewhere to buy a 1/2-inch cordless drill. Gotta go to Ireland to pick up some parts. And then wherever else, I don't know, might go get something to eat. Let's hit the road. hear the exhaust hitting something. That's weird. I don't know what it's hitting. I think like it's stuck in second. Huh. Shifts a little too soon. Might have to turn on that modulator valve a little more. Yeah, it still hit second way too soon. Y'all see it doing that. You might not pick it up on camera. The front end doing that right there because it's towed out. We might try to fix that when we get back. It's thrown up pretty good. We really need to put a different gear in the rear end. Probably do a 350 like we did on Dude in the 40. That'll pep it up quite a bit. Well, I'm here. When I get done with this, we'll probably run to Harbor Freight real quick. See what kind of drills they got. I don't know, we'll go somewhere else after that. Just got out of the doctor's office. We're gonna try a different medicine for my knees. I was on diclofenac. It didn't help much. Some, but not a lot. We're switching to meloxicam. Hopefully that's gonna help. I took some of that last week when my knees were just, I couldn't walk, seriously. Took some of that, and about an hour later, I was mucho betero. Anyways, walking to the truck, I realized that my right rear tire was almost flat. I meant to pump it up before we left the house. I forgot. I gotta go find an air pump. We'll pump that up. We'll head to Harbor Freight, see what kind of drills they got. We are at Lowe's. They have free air. I don't know how you operate it. You just hit the thing and it goes. Maybe you push to start, because that's what it tells you to do. Anyway, let me pump his tire up. I think we might go in here to see what kind of drills they got. They got one pretty cheap. I might just buy it here. Anyways, let's get this tire pumped up. Well, I just had a fella try to buy this truck while I was pumping the tire up. Sure enough, I told him no, it ain't for sale right now, but it might be later. I told him check it out on the channel. This is the second trip this truck has made to town, and it's got more thumbs up and head nods and looks than the old Forte and old Dude combined. I don't understand it. I don't know why people like this old truck, but they sure do. Anyways, I bought a drill whilst I was low, so there's no need to go into Harbor Freight. I gotta go give me something to eat. Gotta go to Ireland, pick up some parts. When we get back to the shop, we'll check my new drill out. Well, I nailed it. It went to second gear. That ain't worth crap. I stopped there at Booger King to get me a little bit to eat, and well, this fender is eating this tire up. It sure is. I think my air's coming out of my air shocks, because I should have a little bit of room there. We'll pump them up when I get to the shop, and we really need to roll the fender in a little bit on both sides. Let's go look at this in here, see if it's ate it up. Yes, sir. It is a little bit. I reckon the air's coming out. I wonder if my mufflers, they may have melted one of my lines, air lines. I don't know. We'll look at it when we get to the shop, though. Yeah, second gear at 4,000 RPM. That is, no sir, that ain't gonna work. Absolutely not. I believe I found the leak. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Right up in there, right there at the end of my light. She's burnt up. I didn't realize that line was that close to the exhaust, or I would have done something about that when we ran our new exhaust. I don't have anything to repair it with. It's a pretty small line. Yep. Anyways, here's what we're gonna do right now, just so in case this ever happens again, we won't do this right here to our tire. Yep, we have put a pretty good groove in it. Yep. We're gonna do a little body work right in this area here. And by body work, I mean take a big old hammer and whoop a devil out of it, maybe channel locks, vice grips, whatever we got to. Give it just a little bit more clearance, just in case this happens again, you know, we don't tear our tire up. Let me let her down. We'll go to working on that. Y'all know I like whooping on stuff with a big old hammer, but before we do that, let's see if we can pretend this is a baseball. Try to roll that lip with it. I don't know that it's gonna work, but it'll probably just raise the bed up. But let's just see what it does. Yeah, it ain't doing nothing. Nope. I need a big old fat feller. Well, no, wait a minute, it's rolling it a little bit. Yeah, okay. Let's keep on doing that. See what it'll do. Getting a little warm. I had to come out of my coat there. It ain't doing all that I want it to do. So let's see what we can do with a big hammer. I don't think this is going to be good enough. I will try to go gentle and hold this behind it because we're liable to sort of bend that fender out. I don't think we're hurting it none. Let's see what we got now. That's mucho batero. But you know what's happening? The shocks are bottoming out. Let me push on it back here at the bumper. Yeah, that's all it'll go. But I think that's going to help out a lot right there. Yeah. Let me go do the other side real quick. I got the other side rolled. I figured, well, we got that tire off. Let's go ahead and fix the leak. And of course, the leak was the valve stem. So I'm putting a new one of them in. Might as well pull the driver's side off and fix it too, because guarantee you, it's going to start leaking too. Let me get that done, and then I reckon we're about done with it for this week anyway. All right, let me get that other one done. Both fenders are rolled. I got new valve stems in both back tires now. So I think, you know, even with no air, I think we're good now. I believe we're going to rub. I can get my finger in there. Good now. Oh yeah, I think we'll be good. I'll repair that line. I don't have anything to repair it with. I'm thinking about going with copper, but those shocks, they do move just a little bit. So you have to be mindful of that if you're going to use copper. You might want to put just a little piece of plastic or rubber there at the end of it. I bought a 750 Holly. Here it is right there. Got it off of eBay the other day, but it needs to be gone through. Don't have time. I bought a kickdown cable. That's what I went and picked up today at Ireland. We ain't got time for that. I don't know when I'll have time to do it, but I don't want to work on this again for another week. No, sir. I'm sure y'all don't want to see it. I did adjust on the modulator valve a little more, and then we got the rear main seal that we're going to have to look at. Yep. It's pretty bad. Probably going to have to pull the motor, put a new seal in it. It's the first rear main seal in a motor that I've built I've ever had leak. Wonder why. Ford. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. One more thing before we wrap this video up. Talking about the comments, stuff I've read in the comments. Several of you mentioned memberships or Patreon, and I would do that. Well, I don't really think very many people would buy a membership or buy a Patreon, and I don't have the time to do extra content, which is what a membership is for, or Patreon. It's extra content that you're paying for. Folks, I don't have time. When I tell y'all I'm a one-man show, trust me, I'm a one-man show. I got to thinking the other day, and I literally do it all. Yep, if I need parts, I gotta research, I gotta find them, buy them, I gotta go get them. I gotta do all the camera work. I don't have a cameraman, no sir. Do all the video editing, that's an hour or two every night. I gotta do all the work, all the research on the project I'm doing, refreshing my memory on this and that and everything else. I literally have to do it all. I'm not even talking about just the channel, my personal life. I got to do it all, yeah. So I'm stretched about as far as I can go. So I can't do no extra content. But some of y'all had mentioned me making a Patreon just as like a donation page. I don't really want to do that because, again, it feels like I'm begging for money. But I decided, let's make a Patreon. I'm going to put the link down below in the description. If you feel like donating, basically what you're going to do, donate money to the channel. Feel free to do that. If you don't, that's fine too. If it don't work out, people don't participate in that, I'll shut it down. It ain't no big deal. But if people that want to sort of help the channel out, well, there you go. There's your way to do it. Once again, there will be no extra content. You will be basically just donating to the channel. So, don't join thinking you're going to get extra. Well, let me take that back. I might post something on there every once in a while, but it's not going to be regular, fellas, because I don't have the time. Also, I'd like to thank Art Captain one more time for sending that TIG welder. That's mighty nice of them. That is going to come in handy in the future. I got projects rattling around in my brain that on down the road, it's going to require some aluminum welding. And that's where that's going to come in handy. Oh, yeah. Appreciate it, Art Captain. Thank you a bunch. I'd like to thank all of y'all again for ramping up the comments, shocking the system, if you will, hitting that like button, running them up. I believe it's helping. Yes, I do. We need to continue that for the next few weeks, and who knows, maybe YouTube will really start promoting us. That'd be awesome. Anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blur, blur.